some ways, Brisbane Roar are very much up against the odds this afternoon. They've lost their last 3 games and risk their worst run since 2021 with a loss here. The away side are second-place Melbourne City, who put 5 past them earlier in the season. However, this is not the same Melbourne City. A combination of injuries, player departures and international call-ups have left Dario Vidosic's side depleted and in dire form, with only 5 points from their last 6 games. Can the Roar capitalise, or will City's squad depth prove to be enough? That is what we'll find out today. Well, we'll take a look at how the two sides line up. There are 2 changes for Alex Smith's side to the one that lost to the Jets last game. Deborah Ann Della Harp starts the match for her 50th appearance in the competition, and American defender Leah Scarpelli returns from an injury acquired in January. That means that Rebecca Kirkup and Ash Brodigan drop to the bench. Meanwhile, for Melbourne City, young Matilda's selection, as well as their returning Kiwis, have meant 5 changes from the team that lined up against Adelaide. New Brazilian goalkeeper Barbara is between the sticks. Kiwis Rebecca Stott and Hannah Wilkinson return to the starting lineup, and Leah Varley and Letitia McKenna complete the ins. Junior Matilda's Shelby McMahon is in line to make her debut from the bench. Well, there's Leah Scarpelli, the American defender, has returned to Brisbane's starting lineup after being forced off the pitch with an injury all the way back in Unite round. She's been a key figure for the Roar this season, both in her defensive duties and the way she can play with the ball at her feet. Her coach and teammates will be delighted to have her back. Well, the news of this signing throughout the week caused quite the stir. Barbara Micheline de Monte Barbosa, known to the world simply as Barbara, will make her first appearance for Melbourne City today as the club's replacement for Canadian Lysiane Prue. The 35-year-old Brazilian has 69 caps for her country, including in Rio 2016, where she made 2 saves in the penalty shootout against Australia to knock the Matildas out of the tournament. It appeared to many as if she started off her line when making those saves, leading to no small amount of controversy at the time. You feel that City fans at least will forgive her if she can help them to a trophy 7.5 years after that incident. Well, Coach Alex Smith sharing a laugh with Dario Vidosic. It's difficult to get a read on whether he's hovering above a pass mark as coach this season. On one hand, his team's only secured 2 wins in his 13-game tenure so far. However, there are caveats. He's attempting to instill an entirely new style of play on a team constructed by his predecessors. The referees today, Beck Mackey is the central official. She's assisted by Meesuk Park and Avril Beecham. And in her 3rd game in the league, Townsville's Paige Malau-Ajuli is the 4th official. Well, the captains rather, appearing to do the toss. Not the coaches. Coaches still sharing a laugh on the sideline. Ishinori and Rebecca Stott having a handshake with the referees. Nori appears the happier of the 2, running over to the huddle in the shade. They'll make use of that shade where they can. It's a warm afternoon in Brisbane, of course. This game delayed by 2 hours to 5 p.m. local time in an attempt to stave off some of that heat. For the Roar, they're desperate for 3 points, and today is as good an opportunity as any. If you look just at the table, it doesn't seem to be the case, but Melbourne City certainly not in the best form. They really struggled in recent weeks. They've eked out draws against Sydney and Adelaide, but have looked far from convincing in doing so. And certainly the crowd here at Perry Park will be hoping that their team can get over the line this afternoon. Hannah Wilkinson, well, she'll be hoping for gold. She is a classic tall poacher. Here's Hannah Wilkinson. She's returning from New Zealand duty where she helped them qualify for the Olympics. Took on Solomon Islands in the OFC Championship finals just recently and comprehensively defeated them. It's a wonderful crowd at Perry Park this afternoon. enjoying the festivities and hopefully enjoying plenty of goals out there. Love to see that Queensland Royal flag as well, vintage. Love to see that. We are underway at Perry Park. It's the home side, Brisbane Roar, who get us underway. They're going from left to right on your screen. Melbourne City going from right to left. A lot on the line for both sides. City will be hoping to stay in touch with top of the table Western United. Indeed, it is the first time this round that they've started a round not on top of the table since round 8. So it's been a little bit of a fall from grace for them. They won't be able to overhaul Western United with a win this round, of course. Western United picking up the 3 points last night. But nonetheless, they'll be hoping to stay in touch. Here's a ball, looking for Mia Corbin for Brisbane, but it's cut out well by Stott. And first look at Barbara with the ball at her feet, the 35-year-old Brazilian. Plenty of intrigue as to how she shapes up in this side. Lovely ball through for Della Harp, her 50th appearance in the competition. Ishnori. Back to Della Harp, looking to create an opening, but isn't able to get past Amina Rekic, doing her defensive duties on that flank. Well, Melbourne City traditionally, they will dominate possession. Alex Smith, though, from a similar coaching background, he wants his sides to have the ball. Melbourne City far and away the best team at possession, but Brisbane Roar not too far behind in 4th. So you can begin to see the imprint that Alex Smith is having on that side. And Dario Vidicic, he is a man of very firm principles. When his team does not have the ball, he suffers. And sometimes you wonder if that may come at a cost for some of his sides. They are quite appealing to watch on the football pitch, that possession style. But sometimes, just like this, when teams press and press high, it can be difficult to get out of. You can expect that a lot today. Brisbane pressing high, trying to turn the ball over in dangerous areas. Woods' pass just going astray. Her 3rd start today. A mid-season signing from Smith. Long ball forward will fall safely into the gloves of Silkowitz. Her first touch of the afternoon. Della Harp down the line. Cut out well, though, by Stott. And haven't they missed Rebecca Stott? She's such a good player for City. She has been for so many years. 98 appearances for New Zealand as well, the 30-year-old. Just that calm presence at the back. Very good at playing the ball out as well. Della Harp in space on the flank. Stott tries to come across and cover, does so. It'll end in a goal kick for City. Intercepted again that time by Scarpelli. Now Tamiki Yallop look to square it for a teammate, can't find Corbin. And City, they'll play it out. Of course, last time these sides met, it was 5-3 in favour of Melbourne City. Brisbane Roar scored first, though, in that game. Mia Corbin, she ended the game with 2. Amina Rekic scored a hat-trick. In that game, a lot of the goals were caused by turnovers for both sides. And you'd imagine that both coaches would have looked back at that footage and realised that that is the way to capitalise. Varley turning away from the pressure. Up the line to Ekic. Nice little 1-2 if she can get there. She did manage to keep it in. No, she didn't. In the end, it will go back for a Brisbane throw. Not much arguing with that foul from Laura Hughes on Kaya Stevenson. McCormick to Della Harp. Lovely ball in behind, finds Stevenson, who squares it, and Corbin fires over the crossbar. A wonderful opportunity for the Roar. And Corbin just couldn't hit the frame of goal. Well, this is good work from Della Harp to find Stevenson, and then a first-time ball was good. Corbin was just under a little bit of pressure from the City defenders. He just put her off her shot enough. Here's Norrie. Keeping the ball very nicely here, Brisbane. Encouraging signs in the early stages of this game. City trying to play it out from the back themselves. Well, that possession, City still edging it. Now an opportunity in behind. Letitia McKenna squares it. A crucial touch from McCormick, cut out the opportunity. But that's how quickly things can turn. Brisbane would have felt like they were on top for that little period of time. McKenna found herself in behind the defence. And so nearly an opening for City. We'll take a look at this last opportunity. It was clever work from McKenna to get in behind, and then McCormick, well, you figure if she didn't get a touch on that, Hannah Wilkinson was there. And that's what Wilkinson can do. She's a clever mover. And she can be in those positions to tuck those away. But McCormick read the play well, and that's what you've got to do as a defender. Just in enough. Intercepted by McCormick. Nice midfield play. Woods to Yallop. Tamiki Yallop, the Matilda. She'll take off. Beats 1, beats 2. Still going, Tamiki Yallop. Beats 3. Can she find options? She'll play it wide. Right into the path of Deborah Ann Della Harp. Oh, it's deflected. Another opportunity here for Brisbane. Barbara unable to grasp the opportunity. And now a shot from the edge of the area. Headed away. And this time, Barbara punches it clear, and City able to clear their lines. Well, that first shot from Della Hart, Barbara, she really should have caught that one. Wasn't able to. It fell straight back to Della Hart. I think it shocked everyone, including Della Hart herself. Made the right decision to square it across the box. And somehow it is still 0-0. Well, this run from Yallop was exemplary. And then a nice ball to find Della Hart here. The shot just didn't have the power on it. And Barbara, maybe a little short of match fitness, has just palmed it straight back into her path. Well, regardless, City survive. Well, Della Hart, had she converted then, that would have been her first A-League women's goal in her 50th appearance. That would have been quite the moment to score her first. So here's this opportunity again. After the ball had come out, a shot from the edge of the area and then cleared away eventually. The deflection just held up enough that Barbara was able to punch it away. And then a big hook into the stands to get it out of danger. Bradley Henry just in a little bit of strife in back play. She looks to be okay though. The 20-year-old. Here comes the set piece, delivered low and hard. And Barbara able to collect. McQueen intercepts. Looks to go backwards and retain possession first before driving forward. McCormick. Back to McQueen. Woods. Della Hart. Well, you could see what she was trying to do to play in Stevenson, but communication a little bit awry, and Barbara will have the goal kick. Della Hart's been involved in everything this game. She missed out last game with a niggle picked up in training, but certainly doesn't look short of match fitness so far. That passing accuracy stat you can see is pretty high for both sides. Most teams in the league hover around that low 70s kind of mark, so both sides above that. Melbourne City, though, below their normal standards. They actually normally sit at 82.9%, which is a huge outlier in the competition. Still plenty of the game to go to make up for that, mind you. Play goes on for City, despite a player down in back play. Ekic holding the ball up. She'll play it into the path of that player, who is Rihanna Policina. She's back on her feet and jogging back into position. She's telling her teammate, come and get back. I'm not staying in centre back. So Taylor Otto trots back. Policina has many positive qualities. I'm not sure she would do centre back too often. Here goes Amina Ekic, being mowed down by Holly McQueen. McQueen has fouled her in the process. So City will have a set-piece opportunity. It's a great run from Ekic, and that's a reminder of what she can do. Holly McQueen did well the first time and then probably didn't need to go in again the second time. Probably had her covered if she just stood her ground, but made the decision to lunge in and gave away the foul as a result. Only 21 years of age, McQueen, so One of those youthful errors that young defenders tend to make. Polisina on set-piece duties. What can she deliver? All the way through, beats everyone. Laura Hughes will come and collect. Can't get it past Sian Fryer, who beats one player, can't beat another though. And City on the ball again, Hannah Wilkinson. Ball delivered into the middle, cleared away by Scarpelli. Ishinori involved, and McCormick puts the laces through it. Clears it away to Rossbacken. Briley Henry now. That pass just going astray, allowing Brisbane to get back in possession. Yallop releasing Della Harp. Deborah Della Harp, she's got Mia Corbin in front of her. She'll try and find her. Mia Corbin takes the touch, but Barbara does exceptionally well to come off her line and ensure that Corbin could not get the shot away. That's fantastic goalkeeping from the 35-year-old. Yet again, Della Harp involved in everything so far for Brisbane. It was a clever ball, but Corbin just couldn't quite get there ahead of City's keeper. Mina Rekic cutting inside. She'll play it to Henry. Winds up for his shot! Just off the post. That would have been something spectacular from Briley Henry. The 20-year-old hasn't scored yet this season. That would have been some way to announce herself. Meanwhile, up the other end, Brisbane, Mia Corbin driving into space. She's got options in the middle. Kai Stevenson at the back post. She'll cut inside to Yallop instead, whose shot deflects off Varley and out for a corner. Well, it's all happening at Perry Park at the moment. City inches away from scoring up one end, and then Yallop with a good opportunity at the other. So the last three opportunities, Barbara did really well to come out and cut out Corbin from having a shot, and then Briley Henry from outside the area, ricocheting off the post. Then Corbin again involved, squaring it to Yallop, and her shot deflected away. The Raw still with an opportunity from a set piece now. Ishinori standing over it, their captain. Dinks it in, but not before the referee's whistle has blown. She's seen something going on, so it'll be a retake. Ishinori delivers again. City get there first, are able to clear away. And that ball, well, almost looked for a moment as if it would lead to a positive outcome, but City's defenders were able to sweep up. Rossbacken trying to play through Polisina. Too much on the ball though. Silkowitz comfortably claims. A bit of frustration from Brisbane's bench there, thinking that City had stolen a few metres with the throw. It happens almost every throw these days. Players just try and take any advantage that they can. Some referees very strict on it. Hughes looking for Wilkinson, cut out well by McCormick, and McQueen is the one who gets it away. Now, here come the Raw. Yallop in space. She's got Della Harp ahead of her. She'll find Deborah Ann Della Harp for her first goal in the league. Drags it wide. She is in a mood today, Deborah Ann Della Harp. Another wonderful ball from Yallop. She probably could have taken an extra touch there, Della Harp, and maybe that inexperience at goal scoring just showing. Brisbane again through Yallop. Takes the shot from distance, tipped over the crossbar. Athletic work from Barbara. And somehow it is still scoreless. Well, again, Tamika Yallop found herself in space, lifted her head, decided why not, and it took a fantastic save from the Brazilian. Well, City fans perhaps wondering who they were getting in between the sticks. These first 22 minutes, she's had quite the workout already. Has stood up on every occasion so far. Here's Norrie into the mixer. Barbara punches it away and is cleared by City. Only as far as McQueen. Norrie. Fantastic work, beats one. Can't get past Hughes though, and Stott does the rest. City now on the charge. Amina Rekic trying to turn away from Scarpelli. That's fantastic defending. And that's what Brisbane have been missing since Unite round. Here's Scarpelli, so good in defence, so good on the ball as well. The leader in their back line. Here's Henry playing it through to Hannah Wilkinson, who cuts back inside. Wilkinson, she'll square it, and a shot from the edge of the area deflected away. Out for a corner. Well, Hannah Wilkinson looked as if she had a path to goal here. She decided to square it instead. And that shot from the edge of the area deflected off Tamika Yallop and out for a corner. That's City's second corner of the game. Ball delivered in, and Silkowitz this time does very well to hold onto the ball. Corners have been a problem for Brisbane. They've conceded 10 so far this season. In fact, 46% of total goals conceded have been from set pieces for Brisbane, but she did really well there. But overall, despite this pressure from City, you can see there, Brisbane Raw, 8 shots to 2. They have had the better opportunities so far in front of their home fans. They've just got to capitalise with one into the back of the net. Here they come, Sian Fryer. Up the wing, Sian Fryer still going, squares it. But well defended again by City. Just bodies in the box, not letting them get that clear-cut opportunity. Here they come up the other end. Amina Rekic Plays it to Wilkinson. Wilkinson, she's got Henry in the middle if she can find her. Briley Henry over the crossbar. Well, she'll be so disappointed with that, Briley Henry. That was a golden opportunity to give her side the lead. And she's not managed to hit the frame of goal. Just looking at this opportunity again. Yeah, Henry, she did everything right. It was the correct run. It was a good ball from Wilkinson. Maybe the bounce just got her. She wasn't able to get her body over the top of the ball. Well, we are having our first drinks break here at Perry Park. It's been a warm day in Brisbane today. So just making sure players are hydrated. Have another look at these opportunities so far. Stevenson put that ball into Corbin. Corbin not able to hit the frame of goal. Tamika Yallop, she's been central to everything. This run was extraordinary. Carved City open, played it into Della Harp, whose first shot was weak, but had an opportunity to square it back across the face of goal. And then a shot from outside the area was deflected away before City were able to clear. This one again, Mia Corbin just not able to get around Barbara. Superb goalkeeping from her. Briley Henry hitting the post. She's luckless in front of goal at the moment, Henry. And then again, Tamika Yallop in a good position, deflected away. And this from Yallop. Well, against other goalkeepers, Brisbane would be 1 goal to the good, but Barbara, so experienced. Such a fantastic shot stopper and a wonderful acquisition for City. Well, the Roar, they've probably been the better side so far in these opening exchanges. You wonder what Dario Vidicic is saying to his side on the other side of the equation. There's been plenty of opportunities both ways. Interestingly, with Melbourne City, they're very good at shot creation. The shots that they do have tend to be of higher quality. Both sides have had 189 shots in the league before this game, but Brisbane Roar have scored 21 goals to City's 33. So it tells you something maybe about the quality of the chances that both sides create. Someone who does create plenty of quality chances, of course, is Tamika Yallop. She came off the bench on both occasions during the Matildas' most recent window against Uzbekistan. Played a role in their 13-0 aggregate victory across the 2 legs. And of course, they will be going to Paris 2024, which is always exciting. Newer fans to women's football might not know just how difficult Olympic qualification has been in the past. So to do so 3 Olympics in a row is a huge achievement for Australian football. Something that Tamika Yallop is firmly a part of. Just taking a look at this again. Well, Norrie, she won the ball there. And then on that occasion, I'm just trying to look for the foul. And there is Bekic, was brought down on her way back up the pitch. Set piece routine by City, but the execution of that ball was certainly not what would have been practiced on the training park. So it'll be Brisbane who have the goal kick. Great to hear, as always, the Raw Core in the background. Always add colour and noise to games in Brisbane in the A-League Women's. Melbourne City with the expected domination of possession so far, but it hasn't really seemed like that as play continues despite Norrie going to ground. That's a wonderful challenge by Scarpelli. Her ball looking to release Corbin, but fantastic defence up the other end from Stott. Sean Fryer with the throw in. Corbin playing it central. Woods trying to find some space. She's brought to ground, but Yallop is the one who comes away with it, and she's the one that City want to close down at every opportunity. They do not want Tamiki Yallop to find the ball in and around the penalty area. Holly McQueen. Della Harp cuts inside, delivers on her left. Yallop swung a boot at it, not able to connect. They still have possession though, Brisbane. McQueen out wide again to Della Harp. Back to McQueen. And now central to Woods, who'll play through her centre back. McQueen still going. Cleared eventually by Carly Rossbacken. Well, an adventurous run from the defender, McQueen. Almost paid dividends there for Brisbane. Take a look at this again. McQueen in behind, just wasn't able to get past Laura Hughes, who did really well to come back and defend. Referee just having a chat to the players in the penalty area. Assistant referee Avril Beecham watching on from the corner flag. It appears that the stoppage is a player down for Melbourne City. Leah Varley not too happy with perhaps an ankle or some sort of foot injury. That could be very costly for Melbourne City. They are so short on fullback depth at the moment. Of course, Caitlin Torpy going to the NWSL. Julia Grosso out injured. Tian McKenna with the young Matildas. They can't afford to lose Varley as well. Here comes the ball in from Brisbane. Header on it. Barbara is there. Not enough power from McCormick. The Brazilian shot stopper in the right place to cut that one out. Mina Ekic. All the way back. Rossbacken. Ekic again. Not able to beat Della Harp on the line. Scarpelli, long ball, too much on it for Fryer. She hasn't been too involved this afternoon, Sian Fryer, but she's been one of Brisbane's more creative players. 34 chances created this season, the second most in the competition behind Sydney FC's Mackenzie Hawkesby. And that does not look like good news at all for Leah Varley. Melbourne City may have to look to their bench much earlier than anticipated. Isabella Ricardo probably the only player on that bench that's a natural defender. It would only be her second appearance of the season if she was called upon.
Substitution for Melbourne City, number 2, Leah Barley, replaced by number 18, Leah Davidson.
In fact, it's Leah Davidson who comes on the pitch in place of Leah Varley. An unfortunate injury for her. You just wonder how this is going to change Melbourne City's shape now. Davidson, a defensive midfielder, more of a 6. So you'd imagine that something will change up now for Daria Vidosic's side. Here come Brisbane. Tamiki Gallup in behind again. Against her opposite number, Stott. Stott does well to prevent the corner. Sian Fryer, wonderful turn. Still going, Sian Fryer. Well, that was some skillful work from the winger to win that corner. Ishnori on corner duties again for Brisbane. Delivers, punched away by Barbara. Policina is there. And McKenna will launch it forward out of danger. Of course, Letitia McKenna, sister of Tian, who may or may not be watching from Uzbekistan. Here comes City, driving into the penalty area. Erkic, still Amina Rekic on her left. Off the crossbar and on the follow-up, well, Briley Henry. The rebound surprised everyone, including Henry. She's hit her teammate Policina instead of the frame of goal. And City have somehow not scored. Amina Rekic, fantastic work, strikes on her left. It was the crossbar and then the post, and then Briley Henry. Well, she had the whole goal to aim at, and she shot it wide. Just not her afternoon so far, Briley Henry. You see confirmation of that substitution. Leah Davidson coming on for Leah Varley. Well, Briley Henry, she started her Melbourne City career with such promise. She actually scored in each of her first 3 games. Since then, she's only scored 1 goal in her past 26 games. Now, many of those games have been from the bench, but still hasn't scored this season. It's her 12th appearance. Something not quite clicking for the 20-year-old at the moment. Still plenty of time in her career to sort it out. Here come Brisbane. Well, the pass was looking for Kaya Stevenson, but Stevenson did well to win it anyway. The shot goes wide in the end. The game, a bit of a standstill right now. Stott happy to just walk up with the ball. Brisbane happy to watch her do so. Policina out wide. Ball back looking for the path of Policina. Wilkinson will come deep to collect. Now it is Brisbane who come away with the ball. Gallup Looking for the run of Della Harp. This time Ross Backen is there. And does really well to play the 1-2 and retain possession again. With Briley Henry, who's dropped deep. Long diagonal from Stott. Can't pick out a teammate. This is where Melbourne City, perhaps in previous weeks, have struggled to create opportunities. They'll keep the ball in midfield and then won't be able to find that incisive pass. Today, they've created the opportunities. It's more about finishing them. That's what they haven't been able to do this afternoon so far. So Melbourne City, for all the opportunities they have had, no shots on target so far. They're all with 3. Both sides, if the scores do remain as they are, will be spewing. They've not managed to put the ball into the back of the net. Still 5 or so minutes left in this half. Still plenty of opportunities for both sides. Kaya Stevenson couldn't get on the end of that one. Well, City more than happy to just slow the game down, pass amongst themselves. You wonder if that's an instruction from Vidicic or whether that's just a result of the conditions, a very warm one in Brisbane. Briley Henry cutting inside. Squares it for Pollicina, who shoots. Oh, Rihanna Pollicina, a whisker away. And indeed, Silkowitz was forced to get a touch on it. It will be City corner. Briley Henry did well to lay it off to Pollicina, whose shot, well, Silkowitz was convinced that it was going on target, had to get the big paw to it, managed to do so. The left boot of Amina Rekic now. Can they break the game open from a set piece, Melbourne City? Rekic towards the front post and crashes into the side netting. Jordan Silkowitz will take the goal kick. That's disappointing for City. Carly Ross back in. She's looked solid today, the defender. Of course, went to the 2019 World Cup. She was an injury replacement for Laura Brock in that tournament. Did well. She started the 3rd group stage game against Jamaica. Looked good, but since then, injuries have hampered her progress. Still only 23 years of age. Melbourne City have been very patient with her through these injuries. This is only her 15th appearance for them over the course of the last 2 seasons. They see a player in there. Certainly the Australian public did back in 2019 when she was only 18 years of age. Just working her way back into match fitness now and has looked solid enough for City today. McCormick. Plays it up the line to Corbin. Taylor Otto just turning away as we see confirmation of 3 minutes of stoppage time in this first half. A goal for either side now would be so important. Goals always are, but just before the break, would really crack the game wide open for the second half. Rosbacken's pass intercepted by Della Harp, but the Irish international not able to keep the ball in play. Of course, Della Harp, born and raised in Perth, in the lead up to the 2023 World Cup, earned a cap for Ireland, the country of her heritage. Didn't make that squad in the end. Lovely turn from Policina. It's the ball taken away from her by Yallop, though, who's been everywhere in this half. You imagine she'll be feeling super sharp after that Matilda's camp. She did play both games, but off the bench. She's had a few days to recover since coming back into the country and playing on Wednesday night. Ishnouri, ball taken away. Laura Hughes. Rosbacken, back to Hughes. Now Rebecca Stott has space in front of her. Can City create something before half-time? Still going Rebecca Stott. Her touch just got away from her, but now a shot from outside the area, straight into the gloves on Silkowitz. Unless Silkowitz gets moving quickly, you'd think that will be the end in terms of chances for this half. It is scoreless, but it's certainly not been a half bereft of chances. Both sides have had fantastic opportunities to go in front. Both keepers have made some excellent saves, particularly Barbara, who's looked very impressive on Melbourne City debut. As the referee does blow for half-time, scoreless at the break. The best opportunities coming through Mia Corbin. Tamika Yallop central to the action. Briley Henry for City will be kicking herself as well. Opportunities just not falling into the back of the net, but you'd imagine that there is plenty to come after the half-time break. So half-time at Perry Park, it's Brisbane Roar 0, Melbourne City 0. We'll take a look at some of those fantastic opportunities. Tamika Yallop just ran past the entire City midfield, played it into Della Harp. Her first shot was palmed away. She was able to square it back across the goal. Led to a shot from outside the area from Woods. That deflection up into the air for Barbara to punch away, was scrambled clear eventually. Briley Henry hits the post here. She's been dreadfully unlucky in this half, Henry. Tamika Yallop again, a shot from distance, required a sharp save from Barbara, showing her qualities as a shot stopper in her first game in the competition. And then this from Amina Rekic, cut back on her left, hit the post, and then Briley Henry just didn't get her body in the right position. And this from Policina as well, a stunning save from Silkowitz to get a glove on it, get it over the crossbar. and prevent that goal. So Melbourne City in the lead with possession as expected, but Brisbane Roar, more shots on target as well. That passing accuracy for Melbourne City, always an outlier in this league, 82%. They've just got to be able to put away their chances. Well, an intriguing first half and an even better second half awaits us. Don't go anywhere. Join us after the halftime break.
Welcome to half-time here on Hinsdale, out in the middle with Rosie at the moment. Now we're doing something a little bit different for our half-time today. We have our three contestants you'll see up in the northern goal. Give a big wave to the crowd. Flora, Tara. Closest to the centre is going to win. Are we ready to go? Thumbs up from the contestants here today. All right, Flora, you go first. There you go, big wave, big round of applause for Ross. You want some crowd action there. Let's get behind Flora here. All right, you need to kick the ball as fast. You know, Rosie, I'm going to put you in the centre here. Let's do it. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Pretty good start. All right, Tara, you are up next. Aim for Rosie. Don't hit Rosie. Or if you do, you might win. That's another good kick as well. That is a good one too. It's just outside. Just outside. So Trent, we're still got a chance here. We have a Brisbane North for the win. If you get closest to Rosie here in the centre, let's do it. Well, this could be awkward if it was I think we're pretty safe. And thank you. Closest to the centre. Flora, congratulations. That is half-time here at Suncorp Stadium. Let's go.
Welcome back to Perry Park in Brisbane, where the home side, Brisbane Roar, are currently scoreless against the visiting Melbourne City. It's been a game of plenty of chances, plenty of opportunities for both sides, and some fantastic goalkeeping performances as well. Barbara on debut for Melbourne City, the Brazilian veteran, 69 caps for Brazil, and showing every inch of her experience today. She wasn't the only one making great saves at the other end. Jordan Silkowitz pulling off a stunner to prevent the opener for Melbourne City. Well, the team's just going through their warm-ups at the moment. Barbara has looked so good after a little bit of a shaky moment at the start when perhaps she parried one away that a keeper of her experience could have caught. Since then, she's had a pretty much flawless performance, showing some of that Brazilian flair with the ball at her feet as well, which of course suits Melbourne City's style perfectly. The fans enjoying the action this afternoon. They'll enjoy it a lot more if they see some goals, but these two goalkeepers will both be hoping for a clean sheet. 2 saves so far for Silkowitz, 3 for Barbara. Look at that passing accuracy from Barbara, 95%, and 2 aerial duels won as well, which is so important when Brisbane put in those crosses. Very important to have a keeper that can deal with that threat, punch it away, and Barbara is certainly one of those. Doesn't seem to need any time to adjust to the side. Of course, Barbara signed because Melbourne City sold Canadian goalkeeper Lisanne Prue to the NWSL in America for a record fee for an Australian. This was just days after Caitlin Sorpy, now a current Matilda and a goal scorer in Matilda's colours as well, was sold for a similar record fee. So Melbourne City depleted somewhat, but Barbara's a pretty handy replacement in goals on the evidence so far. Hannah Wilkinson, it gets us underway in the second half at Perry Park. Still scoreless, but these sides have plenty of attacking left in them. Really difficult to predict the way that this game is going to go. Of course, last time these sides played, it ended 5-3, 8 goals in that one. So we know that these two sides have goals in them. Just have to find a way to convert these opportunities. Nice turn from Kaya Stevenson. Policina looking for Henry, can't find her, out for a Brisbane throw. Holly McQueen, her pace in defence was called upon in that first half. Of course, fitness levels will play a part in this second half as well. It is a warm day. There will be a drinks break in this half as there was in the first. Well done by Hughes to win the ball in midfield there. That ball, though, couldn't find Wilkinson. McCormick was well positioned. Defence, of course, isn't just about winning the ball. It's about positioning and being able to shepherd players away. Here's Davidson, the first half substitute, still going. Plays it to Ekic. Mina Ekic delivers. He was looking for Policina, but it was headed away before it could reach her. Hughes. Ross back in. Policina. Nice little triangles here from City. Riley Henry releases Rossbacken. Little 1-2. City players running into each other in the penalty area. Davidson. Rebecca Stott, nice turn. And a nice little 1-2 with Davidson. Out wide for Rekic. Amina Rekic cutting inside, and Letitia McKenna was there. The ball just beyond her. She's so clever, Rekic, the way that she can cut inside onto that preferred left. Oh, and a touchback from Stott. Well, it put Barbara under a little bit of pressure. Barbara was able to unconvincingly clear off the head, it looks like, of Mia Corbin, who is just down on her haunches, taking a little while to get back up. That one would have hurt from close range. Otto across to Ekic. Amina Rekic driving at the defence, brought down by Sian Fryer. And that will be a yellow card for Fryer, a cynical foul. As Ekic was approaching the penalty area, knew that she had to be brought down. So a yellow card to Sian Fryer and a golden set-piece opportunity for City. It was a fantastic ball from Otto to release Ekic, and Sian Fryer just knew that she couldn't let the Bosnian international into the penalty area. So took action when she could and has received a yellow card as a result. Fairly clean game so far, only 3 fouls each. Well, Amina Rekic, the player who was fouled, will be the one to take this free kick. You'd imagine she'll take a strike from this kind of distance. Silkowitz commanding her wall. Ekic to open the scoring for Melbourne City. Wonderful save, Silkowitz. Well, it was on target from Ekic. Silkowitz able to get across in front of her wall and palm it away. She needed to be strong and was. Now, here comes City again. Policina, heavy touch, and it's fallen to Corbin. Riley Henry is there to ensure that Della Harp can't get away with a counter-attack. Well, we flagged at half-time just how good both of these goalkeepers have been today. And there again is another example. Not easy to see when you've got the wall in front of you and the ball's bending like that. Silkowitz has done really, really well. Here's this free kick again, Ekic. Wonderful bend on the free kick. She was aiming for that top corner. Didn't quite hit exactly where she wanted it to go, and Silkowitz was able to get across swiftly. McKenna cuts inside past Woods. Still McKenna. Her shot didn't quite have the required power to really challenge Silkowitz there. She's had an interesting career, Letitia McKenna, still only 21 years of age. It's her 85th A-League Women's appearance. She did play for the Raw in 2020-21, so would be familiar with a lot of the players in the opposition side. Started her career as a young, tricky winger. Seen more so in midfield for City. Here's Ekic across the box to Davidson. Leah Davidson looking for space. She keeps her feet and keeps the ball. Edge of the area, McKenna. Can't drag it back and keep control, so it is Brisbane who win possession. Corbin won that duel with Stott, but Otto was there to clean up. We saw Taylor Otto put through that ball to release Amina Rekic, but won the foul in the first place. Otto's passing accuracy is 90.7%. That is outrageous. Now, a lot of those passes are short passes to a teammate, but the fact that she is capable of setting up her team like we saw, it's a fantastic quality to have as a defender. Certainly one that Rebecca Stott possesses as well. Brisbane winning the ball back. Wilkinson, she's been brought down and will win a foul as a result. McCormick just a little bit too strong in the challenge. Wilkinson very gingerly getting back up to her feet. Mia Corbin. Nice ball into space. Can Sian Fryer get there? It's a foot race. She can't get there ahead of Davidson, who does well. Well, the ball taken away from Ekic by Scarpelli. Leah Scarpelli looking to put something on a plate for a teammate, but it was just forced too wide. You can see the disappointment on her face. Scarpelli's playing like someone who has limited time, and when you consider that injury curtailed several rounds of her season this time around, she's making full use of the time she does have fully fit and on the pitch. Been very, very impressive this season. Here come Brisbane. Ball delivered into the middle. Corbin deflected away. Stevenson still on the ball. Kaya Stevenson has a shot. But through the tangle of bodies, there was a deflection. Tamika Yallop not too happy with the shove from Barbara. Well, we'll take a look at this again. Stott got a foot on it, which did enough to make it awkward for Stevenson. She had to go back around and take the shot. McCormick playing it out wide. Sian Fryer now into midfield. Woods can't find Fryer, so it's McKenna who's on the ball. Policina. One of the important things for Melbourne City about having Hannah Wilkinson back is that it allows Policina to sit a bit deeper. She was playing in a sort of false nine position in Wilkinson's absence, and she's a player that likes to get involved on the ball. Phases of play just like that one. And she's much better in that midfield role. Davidson trying to find Wilkinson. It does look like Leah Davidson's taken up that right fullback position, so maybe a little bit out of position. Of course, Leah Varley started the game, had to be subbed off through injury in the first half. Davidson was her replacement, and Varley was the one on that right flank. Rebecca Stott beating the press, driving into midfield. And now a long diagonal for Briley Henry. She's got Wilkinson in the middle and Ekic at the back post. Briley Henry still going, goes to ground, Henry. Appeals for a penalty, not given. It will be a goal kick for Silkowitz. It did look on first glance like she won the ball. Let's see on the replay. Great challenge by McQueen. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Clean challenge. And the correct call on replay by the referee. Woods into the path of Yallop. Tamika Yallop puts the head down. Tamika Yallop to open the scoring for Brisbane. What a performance from the Matilda. The home fans erupt. And it's Brisbane Roar who take the lead. Well, she has been everywhere in midfield, Yallop. This was sheer force of will. 32 years of age, she put the head down. She knew she was beating Stott. And she slides it past Barbara in goals. That is the touch of class of a classy player. And it's the Roar who take the lead over second-placed City. Well, Melbourne City now will have a battle to get back into this contest. Last time these sides played, it was Brisbane who scored first, but under very different circumstances. Mia Corbin scoring early on, and then Amina Ekic completing a hat-trick. Kaya Stevenson looking to double Brisbane's lead immediately. Can't do so on that occasion. This time around, it'll be a much more difficult task for City to get back into the game. Of course, missing several players through young Matilda's duty. Daniela Garlich, probably the biggest of those players. She scored 6 goals for them this season. She's been a real creative force, such a talented player. They can really use her now. Ekic out wide. What can City produce now? Letitia McKenna. Oh, and an intercepted pass, Brisbane. Can they spring the trap? Woods. Tisha Woods still going. And she releases Sian Fryer, who's in space. Sian Fryer to double Brisbane's lead. Sian Fryer gets her goal. The second of the season for the 22-year-olds. And suddenly it is Brisbane Roar in the ascendancy. Well, just like that, how this game can turn. Tish Woods does very well, and it's a delightful ball to get in behind Leah Davidson. Sian Fryer, she's been in those positions plenty of times this season. She hasn't finished everyone she would have liked, but this time she makes no mistake. She puts it past Barbara and makes it 2-0. There are plenty of fans here at Perry Park this evening, and almost to a person they are thrilled with this. 2 goals in only a couple of minutes for Brisbane. They've turned the game on its head. They've turned the complexion of the game on its head. And the way City have played so far, you'd find it very difficult for them to get back in this contest. It could well be more soul-searching for Melbourne City. On a pretty desperate run at the moment. They've lost several of their best players, and now 2-0 down against a Brisbane Roar side who are not really in the finals conversation, although they might be if they can hang on to these 3 points. Shots on target, 5 for Brisbane, 3 for City. And those last 2 for Brisbane, they've been clinical. Here comes Briley Henry with the long-range strike off the crossbar, and Amina Rekic. Well, the second time in this game that Briley Henry has hit the woodwork. She has tried to create something out of nothing to get her side back in the contest. And suddenly this game has opened right up. Oh, this from Henry. She's just gone herself. She's decided that she wanted that, but wasn't able to dip beneath the crossbar. Meanwhile, we're having some substitutions. Kira Myers is coming on the pitch for the Tisha McKenna. And Shelby McMahon coming on for Taylor Otto. A massive moment for the 15-year-old junior Matilda. It's her A-League Women's debut. The first of many, you would imagine. A very highly rated player, mostly a defensive midfielder, McMahon. But she's come on in circumstances where her team requires a performance from her. It is the perfect stage for McMahon to show the country what she can do. Certainly putting a lot of faith in the youth to get them back into this Vidicic. Kira Myers, only 16 years old herself, the other substitute. Only her 6th A-League Women's appearance. Here comes McMahon, lovely footwork. Can't get past her defender though. Leah Davidson, back central. Laura Hughes, Davidson. Amina Rekic has looked the most likely path to goal along with Briley Henry. Amina Rekic trying to beat Sian Fryer, her opposite number. Fryer does well, the goal scorer. Laura Hughes. Stott. Hughes again. Leah Davidson. Amina Rekic goes around Scarpelli. Rekic cut out by Woods. It'll be a Melbourne City corner. And Scarpelli, well, she's gone to ground here in the background for Brisbane. Well, this is not a good sign for the Roar, only just returned from injury. Although the referee, Beck Mackey, is just lending her a hand. Might just be cramp, let's hope so. Again, it is a warm one in Brisbane. Let's take a look at a replay of this one. Yeah, she's just extended out to try to win the ball off Ekic. So confirmation of the subs. Mario Lecker for Brisbane came on the pitch in amongst all that as well, replacing Kaya Stevenson. Shelby McMahon for the Tisha McKenna for City. And then also Kira Myers for Taylor Otto as well. Amina Rekic goes short. Back to Ekic. It's good to see McMahon involved in all of the set plays. She's been training with the side for a few weeks. She's actually officially an injury replacement for Holly McNamara, who of course did her ACL earlier in the season. Corner towards the back post this time. Out it comes to Laura Hughes. Polisina gives it back to her, to Shelby McMahon, who opted to play it out wide instead of shoot. Ekic, shot on her left, it was blocked away. Now McMahon, the 15-year-old, to Amina Ekic. Amina Ekic shoots over the crossbar. Well, there was a moment in that passage of play where McMahon had a good side on goal. She opted to play in Ekic instead. Just here, on debut, Amina Ekic on her preferred left has just played it too high. Always great to see Marieleka back out there. She's still returning to full match fitness after her ACL injury. She's had one start this season, the rest coming off the bench. She's a fantastic player in full flight as well, so plenty to be optimistic about for the final few games of the season if you're a Brisbane fan, particularly if the score stays as they are or even some more goals for Brisbane. Corbin trying to run into the line of it, can't beat Ross back in, they'll win another corner. They've only scored 4 goals from set pieces this season, Brisbane. They'll love to add a 5. Yallop and Norrie just convening. Ish Norrie delivers towards the front stick. The header not troubling Barbara. Riley Henry dropping very deep to receive that one. Nice little interplay with Laura Hughes. Riley Henry, touched on by Polisina. Kira Myers looking to create something. Cheeky little back heel. Riley Henry will collect. Rebecca Stott. McMahon. Leah Davidson looking for options ahead of her. She finds Wilkinson. Wilkinson's touch not ideal, but she manages to bring it down. Amina Ekic runs into Marieleka and Scarpelli receives. Got to be careful not to go into their shells here, Brisbane. Still plenty of time left in this game. They don't want to invite too much pressure and just sit on this lead, and I'm sure Coach Alex Smith will be saying the same to them on the sideline. Smith, of course, has worked for Melbourne City with Dario Vidicic, so he's very well aware of the philosophy of continuing to play football, continuing to keep possession. Here goes Stott. Blocked away, a shot. Well, it fell nicely to Polisina, but there were plenty of Brisbane bodies in the way. Eventually, it's gone out for a City corner. Taken short. Across to Hughes. Ross back in. Dinks it in, headed away by Corbin. Myers not able to get the right touch. Nice little 1-2. Kira Myers with Policina. Myers just not able to get into the path of the ball. Myers and McMahon, the two substitutes, heading to the under-17 Junior Matildas camp coming up this week in preparation for the under-17 Asia Cup. Of course, their under-20 counterparts currently preparing that game. Well, the first of those games is tomorrow evening. And you can watch that live on 10 Play. 22 of the 23 players are from the A-League Women's. Here's Mario Lecker. He swings the boot at it straight into the gloves of Barbara. Such a technically gifted player. Ecker has a futsal background. The Brazilian, she's been in Australia for a number of years, started off at Southern Cross University before joining the Raw 4 seasons ago. We see that opportunity again. Just didn't quite connect with it the way that she would have liked. Well, the possession now leaning very heavily in Melbourne City's favour, but the scoreboard certainly is not. What can Kira Myers produce? Myers, cross, header, just wide. Well, that would have been some debut from the 15-year-old. The two substitutes combining, but it's just wide from Shelby McMahon. Powerful header. Just scraping the outside of the post. And she's got plenty of wraps on her, Shelby McMahon. And in Australia, we're getting our first glimpse of the talent that she is. Already making a difference coming onto this game in her debut. Well, the Raw, they've found themselves 2-0 up, and it's because of these two goals. Firstly, Tamiki Yallop just driving forward, beating Rebecca Stott for pace and putting it in the back of the net. You see her there, she just put her head down. She was always going to beat Stott. It was that pure determination with a touch of class that got the ball over the line for the Raw there. And then only a couple of minutes later, very similar circumstances, very similar kind of ball. This time Sian Fryer got away from Leah Davidson and finished very well on her left boot. She's created so many chances this season, Sian Fryer, 5 assists. And that's her second goal of the season. Very well earned for the 22-year-old. Well, for Brisbane Raw, they'll be looking to hold on to this lead for the last 15 minutes, but they've got to continue to play. They'll know that if they sit deep, it is inviting pressure. But then again, Melbourne City, they've already had the majority of possession, sitting on 65%. And it's not having the ball, it's what you do with it. And Melbourne City with Julia Grosso out injured, with the likes of Daniela Garlich out on international duty. They're just lacking that creative touch at the moment. Policina not quite firing the way that we're used to seeing her. Of course, they're really missing Holly McNamara, who was so good for those first few rounds of the season before a season-ending ACL injury. Here's Della Harp towards the back post. Sian Fryer squares it back across, and Ecker couldn't get there. A fantastic opportunity for Brisbane to make it 3. You imagine everyone in Perry Park would have been thrilled had it been Eka who got the final touch. And Melbourne City with the throw now. Della Harp again, she's been very good today. Her 50th appearance in the competition. Sian Fryer did well to drag it back, but it was Ross Backen who was just able to get there in time and ensure that Eka didn't have a clear shot on goal. Well, Brisbane, they've won the ball high up the pitch here. Sian Fryer, she'll square it across goal. Tish Woods not able to get there. City are playing themselves into trouble at the moment as much as anything else. Both goals fairly identical from a Brisbane perspective. Not able to defend against that through ball, City, and they almost conceded a goal of their own making there. But here they come in attack. Oh, lovely piece of skill from Myers. Perhaps just lacks the strength to get past defenders. She's got all the techers, but can't get through. And that is a very clear foul by Laura Hughes to prevent that counter-attack. Interestingly, Beck Mackey not pulling out the yellow card, perhaps thought that the distance was too deep to do so. Have a look at this piece of skill from the 16-year-old. Attempted rainbow flick. It did go over the head of the defender, but again, it's just that strength at the moment. Still so young, only 16. Plenty more to come from her. Free kick taken. So there were just some subs. Screen Ash Brodigan came on the pitch for Brisbane in the place of Mia Corbin, and Brisbane, they were on the charge there, almost creating yet another opportunity. They're just catching out City at the moment for pace. Now, Sian Fryer almost wound up to shoot for her second. She'll just keep the ball instead. Happy to get away from the 15-year-old. Crossed in, cleared away, and Ishnori will have a pop. And that was never on target. Ambitious, but why not? 2-0 up in this situation. She saw the headlines and couldn't get it on target. Well, Rebecca Stott again, so solid in defence, but she can't do it all on her own. They'll keep backing themselves here, City. Still 10 minutes or so of regulation time to go, plus stoppages. With players like Amina Rekic on the pitch, anything can happen. She's turned the ball over there, though. Scarpelli still going. Well, you could see what she was thinking with that outside of the boot pass, but Marieleke not able to get there. Was asking a lot of her, to be fair. Polisina. Davidson. Amina Rekic. Lovely turn away from Fryer. Amina Rekic delivers. Well, it went past 2 or 3 Brisbane Roar defenders and almost into the path of Polisina, but it was cut out just in time. This is certainly not a good sign here for Brisbane. Their captain, Ishnori, has some kind of issue. Here's Scarpelli with her. Just undoing the shoelaces. She's grimacing a little bit there, Norrie. experienced enough to have some inkling of what's going on. It's her 96th A-League women's appearance. So all going well, she will hit the 100 before the end of the season. Hopefully this is not something that would prevent that milestone. It was a lovely turn from Ekic. She's put the ball in the middle. Holly McQueen was there to clear it away from Policina. Meanwhile, as Norrie continues getting treatment on the sideline, play will continue. Wilkinson. Leah Davidson. Well, it was looking for Ekic, but Scarpelli was there. Disappointed with that decision, Scarpelli, because she wasn't under too much pressure. Maybe an indication of the game state in these last few minutes. Leah Davidson. Amina Rekic, fancy footwork. Back to Davidson. Rebecca Stott looks to challenge Silkowitz, but comfortable for the American. She'll fall on the ball, take her time. Just trying to take the heat out of the game. Hannah Wilkinson. Squares it, Policina. Into the box, Ekic, Policina, air swing. And hoofed away. Rossbakken. Ekic. Still Amina Rekic. Into the box now. What can she create? Brisbane bodies back, able to clear away. They've been very good at that, Brisbane. Defensively disciplined this evening. Perhaps using that international break to just make sure that they were on top of their organisation. City trying to create something in these dying minutes. It'll be difficult now, though, against a packed Brisbane Roar defence. So just confirmation that a few minutes ago, Laura Hughes did in fact pick up a yellow. Apologies that was missed at the time. This is not a good collision. Rebecca Stott looks in some pain. She's clutching at her elbow or arm. She's got in a collision with Briley Henry as they look to defend. Briley Henry is not looking too crash hot herself. Well, Henry just went into the back of Stott, but then, well, that's the injury to Stott. It was, in fact, a Brisbane Roar player who dragged her down. It was unintentional, looked just like a tangle of arms. And unfortunately, it's really hurt Stott. Well, hopefully the Kiwi international's okay, because she's such a crucial part of this City side. She's such a legend of the competition as well. So again, this first injury might have been a push as well from Ash Brodigan. And then dragged Stott down by the arm. Certainly never a nice feeling.
Substitution for Melbourne City, number 17, Hannah Wilkinson, replaced by number 21, Isabella.
Well, we'll see a final substitution now for Melbourne City. And it's an interesting one. Hannah Wilkinson making way for Isabella Ricardo. Ricardo, predominantly a defender in the NPL Victoria, has also played as a defensive midfielder for Melbourne City in the past. Only 18 years of age. Only her second appearance of the season, her 11th overall in the competition. And given she's come on for Wilkinson, she may be deployed in a more attacking role, particularly since they're chasing the game. It seems a fascinating substitution on the face of it. Receiving word there'll be 5 minutes of stoppage time. Here goes Sian Fryer. Sian Fryer goes around the outside of Rebecca Stott. Great save from Barbara, but then on the rebound, Ash Brodigan, her shot blocked, appeals for handball. The crowd is certain, Brisbane's players are certain, and that could be a huge non-decision. Well, take a look at this again. Sian Fryer has had the shot. It was palmed away by Barbara, and then, well, on replay, that looks like a handball on second look. And Leah Davidson is very, very lucky, not just because of the penalty, but also because that could potentially have been a red card for a denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. We'll take a look at this again. It's palmed away from Barbara. Well, there's Fryer's reaction. And Brisbane players were convinced that it was a handball, and certainly on that first replay, it looked very much like a handball. Brisbane happy to just play the short corners at the moment. The Raw still going in attack. Yallop under immense amounts of pressure. Tamiki Yallop, and it is City who win the throw. Hughes up the line. A heavy touch allows McQueen to win the ball back. Three and a half minutes for Melbourne City to give themselves a lifeline back into this contest. Can they make magic happen? McMahon came so close, the 15-year-old, with a header earlier.
Tonight's Brisbane Roar player of the match, number 13, Tamiki Yallop, as voted by you, Brisbane Roar player.
Davidson trying to find options. Fancy footwork again, driving into the penalty area, but whistle has been blown. An offside flag. And Jordan Silkowitz will be in no rush. Well, let's take a look at this potential handball again. It was Ash Brodigan who took the shot. And it really does look like, from that angle, that it came off the arm of Leah Davidson. It might not impact this result, but had that been awarded, it would have had some consequences for City. If it had been awarded, it likely would have been a red card again, that denial of obvious goal-scoring opportunity, which would have seen Davidson suspended for a week. But as it stands, it may not have an impact on tonight. It certainly may on the outcome of the rest of the season. So one team that is certainly pleased with this result as it stands, Western United, will see themselves 4 points clear on top of the table, ahead of Melbourne City in second. Sydney FC 5 points away from first in third, although they do have a game in hand. And for City, well, it's another disappointing performance. If they can't pull off something spectacular in the next 60 seconds or so, it would mean that they haven't won a game in 5 games since January the 20th, when they defeated the Wellington Phoenix 2-1. In fact, it means that they only have 5 points from their last 7 games. There's reasons for that. There's been player absences, but it's certainly quite a dramatic fall from grace. They were in first place for a substantial part of the season, all the way from round 8 to round 17, and now 4 points away from the summit as things stand. One last chance perhaps for City. Davidson driving into the penalty area. They'll throw everything at this. They can get one back. You never know, stranger things have happened. You think the time is running out. This may be the last opportunity. Policina delivers a corner into the mixer. Stott, and off the post. Well, that's the 4th time Melbourne City have hit the woodwork in this game, and it just about sums up their night. Just haven't been able to find a way to score past Silkowitz. They've had their chances, but it's the Brisbane Roar who have been the most clinical in front of their home fans. Full time at Perry Park. It's the Roar who win their first game in 4. They arrest their 3-game losing streak. Goals to Tamika Yallop and Sian Fryer prove the difference. Melbourne City, they had their opportunities. They hit the woodwork 4 times in the game. They couldn't find a way into the back of the net. At full time, it's Brisbane Roar 2, Melbourne City 0. We'll take a look again at the 2 goals that separated these 2 sides. Tamika Yallop in plenty of space, just put the head down, beat Rebecca Stott for pace, and slotted it home past the Brazilian goalkeeper, Barbara. Clinical finish, classy player, and that was exactly what Brisbane Roar needed. Then only a couple of minutes later, almost identical circumstances, Tish Woods plays it into the path of Sian Fryer. Fantastic first touch, takes another, and then slots it into the bottom corner of the net on her left. Well-deserved goal. Only her 2nd of the season, but she's created so many opportunities for this Raw side. She'll be so pleased to have put that one away and seal the game in front of home fans. Well, let's take a look at the stats. Melbourne City, as always, dominating possession, 65%. shots and shots on target. That's the thing to look at, because while the shots were fairly even, only 3 on target for City, 8 for the Raw. And in the end, they were just that little bit more clinical, and that's what won them the 3 points. Well, thank you so much for joining us this evening. It was an action-packed match, and this league just continues to be so unpredictable. Full time, it's Brisbane Raw 2, Melbourne City 0.